Have you ever felt like you should be further along in your life? Or maybe you feel frustrated because you're just not reaching your goals. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk with you about the steps to changing your mindset, so stick around. Welcome to Fearless and Power Tube. I'm Sharon Lee of fearlesspursuits.com, and this is the place to be for entrepreneurs who want to make more money online and who want to work on their mind. So let's just jump straight into step number one. The thing about it is we absolutely have to know what part of our life that we want to change. We have to know what's not working. So step one has to do with you really understanding what's not working. And this is difficult for a lot of people because it can be a situation where it's a problem on a subconscious level where maybe you're trying not to see it. So try to be as honest as you possibly can. It's just you after all, and it's a safe place. So decide what is not working. What is it about your life or your business that you need to change? That's the very first step. Once you've really put your finger on the pulse and figured out what's not working, step two is absolutely to decide and to commit that you will change your life, that you will do whatever it takes. Now, let me tell you, first off, in step number one, a lot of people don't even want to be honest with themselves about what's not working. We make up stories, right? And we decide that we can't change. We make excuses. And in step two, when we're talking about deciding and committing, we often go along with that story of, I just can't do it. It's not meant for me. It's for other people, but it's not for me. So in step two, you have to say, enough is enough. I must change this. So this is a really important step that you have to do. Now in step number three, what we have to do is we absolutely have to find our mindset block. The mindset block is found through our feelings. So when you're thinking about what it is that you want to do, what you want to change, we have to take a look at how we're feeling about it. Certainly you're frustrated, angry, or something like that. And we realize that when we're in our head, we're dead. And this is one of those situations where we realize that if we're stuck there, nothing will change. So this is where we have to start to incorporate our body and our emotions, our feelings, so that we can uncover our blocks and start to be really honest with ourselves and take the next steps. Once you've found that block through identifying your feelings about that particular situation that you want to change, and let's go ahead and use weight loss, because weight loss is something that almost everybody has wanted to change, whether it's a few pounds that you want to lose or maybe it's 50 pounds or 100 pounds. What we do is we say, I've tried that before and it didn't work, or it's too hard, or it's uncomfortable and I don't want to do it. So there's all kinds of stories that we have. Maybe you want to start your own business, but you're saying, I don't have the money to start my business, or the marketing sounds so difficult. I'm scared to get on video. I don't feel comfortable talking to people. You see, we've got all kinds of stories that we tell ourselves, but when you have your thought, you know what it is you want to change. And you know the feelings you have around it. So what we have to do is we have to identify the thought that's creating the feelings. So now let's say that you did want to lose maybe 50 pounds. What is that thought that you're dreading that's causing this uncomfortable, frustrated feeling, or maybe low confidence? Maybe it is that you have tried it before and you're thinking, I don't know, I've tried everything. Have you really tried everything? Have you stuck to it for a year, 2 years, right? So this is the thing where we have to really be honest with ourselves, and it's tough to really be honest with ourselves and say, am I really doing everything that I know that I can do in order to change? I know a 60-year-old woman who lost 150 pounds and she just continues to do it. She's weightlifting. She has a lot of extra skin and she doesn't even let that get in her way. She shows up for the gym every single day and she is a force to be reckoned with. Then there are those people who are entrepreneurs and they look at everybody on social media and they say, wow, those people are amazing. I could never do that. I could never get behind a camera and do a video. I could never do a live stream. No one really ever responds to my posts, and they start to feel bad and think that it's not working. You see, what we do is we start moving into that self-doubt place, and we start thinking that we can't do it. I have a video for you if you're that person who is into the self-doubt and you need some help with that. I'll link it up above here, or I'll have it in the link below in the comments for you and in the description. But it's a video that I created about self-doubt, and I work with NLP to help you change your mind. But in this step, what we have to do if we want to change our mindset is we have to look at the thought that we're having that's causing these feelings. Now in step 5, what we want to do is we want to take a look at how we would rather feel. So in step 4, we identified a thought based on a feeling we're having. So you want to start your own business and you realize it's a digital age and you're going to have to promote your business online and you're dreading it. You're thinking, I don't know, I can't do the things that other people do. And you start to really doubt yourself. So this is where you're feeling like you want to give up. So that's a thought you're having. I can't do this. Other people are better than me. So how would you rather feel instead of having self-doubt and lack of confidence? Maybe you would rather feel confident. Maybe you would rather feel like it's just a matter of time, like it's going to happen. These are the thoughts that we have to have in order for us to be more successful in anything in our life. So we have to ask ourselves, how would I rather feel? So this is what we're doing, is we're moving through a path of changing our mindset little by little. And we're identifying our thoughts of not wanting to do something, which is causing us procrastination. It's causing self-doubt. But then we ask ourselves, how would we rather feel? And this is going to lead us into the most optimal solution. So when you ask yourself, how would I rather feel? I would rather feel more confident. I would rather feel like I could do this. Then what thought would you have to have that feeling of confidence? So maybe you are thinking of losing weight like I was talking about before. What thought do you have to have instead of the one as I've tried everything, right? So there's that thought, but you could switch that around. So we're flipping everything around and we're thinking, if I want to be successful and I want to feel successful, I want to feel confident, what thought do I have to have in order to feel that feeling of confidence? I could think that I am once and for all going to get the support that I need and I'm going to be committed and stick to the plan. How would that make you feel if you actually were committed to getting the support that you need and sticking to it every single day? And let me say this, no one really ever accomplished anything of value when they just did it for 3 days or a week or 2 weeks or a month. The thing about it is when we're thinking about really creating massive transformation in our own lives, we realize that we have to follow suit with doing something different every day. This is us being absolutely committed to changing our standards. So I am a person who always has a coach. I am a person who always incorporates fiber in my diet. I am a person who is not afraid of rejection. You see, these are things that we have to decide about ourselves, as I was saying in step number 2, so that we can really have higher standards about who we want to be and the results that we get as we reach our goals. Now, in step number 7, we are trying to decide who it is we have to be. So I'll just ask you, who do you have to be in order for you to change your mindset around a particular circumstance? Who do you have to be to change your situation? So there are some people who say that they can't do it because of their financial situation or their health. But let me tell you a story. There's a man by the name of Nick Vujicic. And he is a man who is a speaker on stage who has no arms and no legs. This man is wealthy. This man impacts lives. And you would think that he would not accomplish anything, especially as a child. Some people would say he'll never amount to anything. He'll always struggle. When we look at individuals like this, we look at them as somebody who's accomplished a great deal, somebody who's empowering people and inspiring people to be more than who they are. So now we see a man who is literally accomplishing so much more than most of us by speaking on stage, by not being afraid of what other people think about his appearance. Speaking on stage in front of people is one of the biggest fears that we humans have, let alone having no arms and legs. When we take a look at our own stories of whatever it is, and we start to make them true as to us not reaching our goals, then we have to start thinking whether or not those stories are really true. For example, I was homeless. Who would think that I would be as successful as I am in business and able to stand here in front of you having lived that life? I was told by my 4th grade teacher that I would not amount to anything. And at the time, it didn't really affect me because I didn't know any better. As a matter of fact, I lived in a very dysfunctional home where there was a lot of abuse. So there's emotional, physical, sexual abuse. And this child grew up into somebody who had a lot of pain, a lot of struggles, but overcame an awful lot of that and is able to really help people and empower people today to really become who they need to be, to achieve their goals and their dreams. So whatever story you're telling yourself, tell yourself that it's just an excuse, that there is a way around it. Whatever it is, if you want something bad enough, you will achieve it. So in this step, you really have to decide who it is you'd prefer to be. Who is it that you have to be? What identity do you have to own and become in order to accomplish what it is you want to accomplish? When you're talking about, in step 1, learning about what it is that's not working and being honest with yourself about what it is you have to change, ask yourself, who do I have to be to overcome this? Now, in step 8, we're looking at our behaviors. We're looking at our actions. Now we've decided who it is we have to be. Now we have to take a look at, if I were her or him, that's your future self, who you prefer to be, what behaviors would she or he have? What daily actions would she or he have when they're wanting to become somebody else, this new version of themselves who accomplishes their biggest goals? This is the mindset that we have to start moving into and how we have to decide what it is we have to change. So now in step 9, it's all about action. So we realize that we've run the gamut here from step 1 to step 8, really identifying our thoughts and our feelings, looking at our blocks, taking a look at what it is we want and why we aren't achieving it, seeing how we're literally causing procrastination, but now we're realizing that we have to become someone new. We have to have a new identity if we are truly changing our standards and changing our circumstances. When we are changing our circumstances, it's through a new mindset. This is truly how you change your mindset so that you can now take the actions that you need to take so that you can become that person who achieves the goals and the dreams and becomes more successful. Now remember, be sure to check out that video on how to clear self-doubt with NLP training. When we're talking about the mind here, we realize that it goes deep and we want so much more out of our lives. I'll post the link here in the comments below. Until next week, this is Sharon Lee. I'm out.